Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial. And today we've got a brief video on dressing the ship, which is also going to talk about some of our preparations that we're making for the big Navy 250 celebration. We're going to have several active warships in the Philadelphia area for a big celebration of the Navy's 250th birthday. So, Battleship New Jersey has been getting ready for this event for 5 years. The whole reason we dry docked the ship, the whole reason why we painted the freeboard, the whole reason why we're putting a new deck on the ship is because the ship needed it. The whole reason why we're focusing on doing it now in that very brief window, we've had the ship for 25 years, why are we doing it all in the last couple of years, is because we knew that the Navy's 250th anniversary was going to be celebrated here in Philadelphia. It's where the Navy was founded back on October 13th, 1775. And we knew that Battleship New Jersey, as the largest maritime museum in the area, was going to be the centerpiece of that. So we have been working to make the ship look as good as possible for this large event. Obviously, things like dry docking and redecking and all this other physical work that we're doing is one aspect of that. Another aspect of it is dressing the ship. So dressing the ship is when a ship is getting ready for an official celebration. That usually means raising what are called the glad rags, the signal flags over the ship. They're the up and over lines that run from the bow to the superstructure, and then from the superstructure down to the stern. Those are dressed with a series of signal flags that are in a very specific prescribed Navy order that does not spell anything out. That is specifically so that a skivvy waver or signalman can't pull a bunch of flags out of the box and spell something like "I hate the captain" on the line. So there is a very prescribed way in which these flags are supposed to go up. So that's relatively simple. We've got our set of signal flags that we keep up in the flag bags, and then we've got a set of signal flags that we keep on the lines forward and aft to raise during things like the 4th of July and other major events like that. In fact, as those signal flags age out, you can purchase one that was flown over the battleship for a number of years in our ship store. So as they age out, we replace them with new ones. We take them down to this store. It's first come, first serve. If you want the letter J because that's where your name starts, we may or may not have it. That flag might have worn out and somebody else might not have bought it. I can't really make promises on that. There are other ways of decorating the ships. Often this is done with lights. You see this a lot during Christmas time. Here's my favorite picture of an Iowa-class battleship decorated for Christmas. This one, I believe, is USS Iowa sometime in the 1980s. The museum has invested a lot in the last couple of years in lighting. And so in addition to railing lights, which were donated to the museum, those are not cheap, but just this summer we got those so that the ship would look good for this fall. The ship had lights installed around the superstructure, more for security and nighttime visibility when the ship was not in action, like security patrols, Marines patrolling the missile deck sort of things. Those lights, they don't really work anymore. We're not going to pay to replace the bulbs. They draw a tremendous amount of power. So we installed LED lights around the superstructure to really illuminate the ship, and we can change the colors of those lights so we can light the ships up when those dirty birds are playing over in Philadelphia or things like that. Another way that ships are sometimes decorated, and it seems to be much rarer, is the bunting, which you can see behind me on the ship's superstructure. When they brought the ship here in 2001, there was a little bit of bunting hung around the ship, but we had another donor come to us, a volunteer, and donate high 4 figures of money specifically so we could buy bunting for around the ship. And so we have more bunting now than we have since the ship was in service. It was about 2,000 linear feet of it to wrap around the main deck and go in places in the superstructure. And we intentionally chose to mimic the style that the ship had in service. We have some really fantastic pictures of the ship during her 1982 recommissioning, and some really fantastic pictures of the ship during her 1991 decommissioning. And those are really the only two periods in the ship's active service that we see bunting like this on board. So we took those two periods and we mimicked it as best as we could. The pictures don't show all angles of the ship. And of course, we're limited by how much bunting we could acquire with the money that was donated. But we have almost perfectly mimicked the ship's historic bunting. So not only have we been working to make the ship look like she would have in active service at the end of her career, we've also managed to work towards decorating the ship the way she would have looked at the end of her career, which includes the up and over flags, the lights around the main deck, and the bunting. So Battleship New Jersey in October 2025 is going to look better than she has since 1991 when she was taken out of service. And all of us here at the museum are extremely proud of this, that we're going to have the best possible looking ship when the Navy comes here to celebrate its birthday and everybody's taking pictures and visiting and things like that. And we really hope that you guys come out and experience the ship at that time as well. It will be a lot of work to ever make her look better than this in the future.
I remember at the time I was in love with my leading lady. She is Nancy, my wife, and I'm still in love with her. But I have to confess that today I find myself developing a great respect for the leading lady in these ceremonies. She's gray, she's had her face lifted, but she's still in the prime of life, a gallant lady, the New Jersey.
And it's worth pointing out that things like the signal flags and the bunting, they are expensive, and having them up is consumable. So like as these things are up and it's windy here on the river and they're getting faded by UV light and things like that, there is a finite length of time we can have these up. They're only going to be up for about a week, and then they'll start to get damaged and we'll end up pulling them down. So Fleet Week is maybe your last, but certainly your best chance to come out and see the ship dressed up in the full magnificence that she has not had since she was in active service, with nearly 2,000 trained professionals maintaining her. Fleet Week will be running from October 9th to October 26th, 2025. That will be a couple of days before and after the Navy's 250th birthday on October 13th. October 9th is all the ships coming in. That will include the littoral combat ship USS Billings, tying up alongside Battleship New Jersey. She was in mothballs the last time she had ships nested outboard of her. USS Billings will likely be open to tours. Keep an eye on the website for that. Those will be free tours. And we will have it set up so that guests coming to visit New Jersey will pay for a ticket and come on forward. Guests coming to visit Billings do not need a ticket to see her. They will come up aft. If those folks want to see the battleship as well, they will have to acquire a separate ticket. Additionally, there will be other U.S. Navy ships like USS Cooperstown over in Philadelphia, USS Arlington at the former Philadelphia Navy Yard, and USS Lassen at Gloucester Marine Terminal near where Battleship New Jersey ballasted just a year ago, if you can believe that. On Saturday, the 11th, the museum will have Family Fun Day. There will be fire trucks on the pier and lots of additional activities around the ship for visitors to participate in. We're also planning on having a number of volunteers, including former veterans of the ship, around to talk to guests at a much higher number than we would normally have because we're expecting much higher visitation. There should be air shows throughout the weekend. You'll be able to see those basically anywhere in the Philadelphia area. If you hear a loud noise, look up at the sky. On Monday the 13th for the Navy's birthday, there will be fireworks here on the river, so the best place to watch them will be on board the battleship. And there are dozens more activities both here at the museum and around the greater Camden, Philadelphia area. There's a link in the description below, so be able to check it. We are constantly updating it as new activities get finalized. So we hope to see you at several of those activities over the coming week. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. We really appreciate your support. There's a link in the description below for ways you can donate to support the museum. You can also support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing so more people find out about the museum and our channel. Thanks for watching.